Do you feel stuck? Would you like more out of life? Yes, hello, my name is Cam here again. Yes, today I just want to share some ways on how to get unstuck. Yes, we all know, especially with what's going on in this pandemic, the most important question you gotta ask yourself is, how do I want to get out of this situation better than when I entered it? So, one of the first things I want to share with you is, first you ask yourself this question: what do I really want out of life? Yeah, what do I want out of life? I want you to write that question down. This is the first question. See, we all know what happens when you get in a car. You can't just get in a car and drive off. First, you gotta know where you are going. If you don't know where you're going, then guess what? You're going to end up anywhere. So ask yourself, what do I really want? And I want you to write it down. What do I really want? So after writing that thing that you want, I want you to, the next question is, ask yourself, what is stopping me from going after what it is that I want? What is stopping me from going after what it is I want? Yes, we all know the most important thing is to figure out those beliefs. And of course, we know if you're not doing something you're supposed to be doing, it's because you've got some limiting beliefs. So ask yourself, what do I really want? Number two, what is stopping me from going after my goals and dreams? I mean, is it fear? Is it fear of being judged? Is it fear of failure? Is it fear of success? Because if you don't do that, then guess what? You are going to stay in the same position that you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a day ago. So ask yourself those questions. Then after, what I would like you to do is, I want you to write all those limiting beliefs, and each limiting belief, I want you to ask yourself, how would I be acting if I didn't have this limiting belief, right? For example, I don't like to be judged, So if you don't like to be judged, you ask yourself, if I didn't care what anyone thought of me, how would I be acting, right? I want you to really pay close attention to that, because this could be the game changer. Because what's going to happen is, this is going to open your mind to possibilities that you never even thought possible. Maybe something you want to bring to the world is something that involves being in public, and you have to go on social media. So you say to yourself, how would I act if I didn't care what anyone on social media said? How would I act if I didn't care what anyone thought of me, as long as I was being true and authentic to myself? How would I behave? How would I show up on a daily basis if I didn't care what anyone said? See, this is one of the most important questions you could ever ask yourself. So you've written down what you want, You've identified, what's stopping you, those limiting beliefs. Then you've asked yourself that question of, how would you feel? In fact, let's go into it. Imagine how it feels to really be doing something you love every single day. Isn't it amazing? Absolutely. It's one of the most amazing things that anyone could ever do. So, next, now this is where the rubber meets the road. Now I want you to schedule, I want you to schedule that thing tomorrow. Schedule it in tomorrow, or a day you say, this is that day I've chosen to start. Don't set it on a future date, because again, you're going to be procrastinating, which is my next video. Don't do that. So I want you to put it in the diary. Put it in the diary and say, I'm going to do this, right? So now you've put it in the diary. So I want you on that day, I want you to set an alarm for 10 minutes. This is my tactic that I use on any habit I want to create in my life. And I'm sure you've heard me share it, and you won't stop hearing me share this idea, because for me it was a game changer. I use this to run 100 days. I use this to write my book. I use this when I want to shoot these videos. 10 minutes, that's all you need. You don't need so much time, because at the end of the day, if you think you're going to be doing it for an hour, then guess what? your mind is going to talk you out of it. So what happens is, with this 10-minute hack that I like to call it, this is going to trick your brain into saying, yes, of course, I've got 10 minutes. Haven't you got 10 minutes during the day? If you haven't got 10 minutes, you haven't got a life. If you haven't got 10 minutes to give to your dream, then trust me, there is no way you're going to be able to bring that goal to fruition. So we've agreed. So you set yourself an alarm for 10 minutes. And what happens? You just start doing whatever it is. Again, don't say you haven't got the ideas. For example, if you're a writer, just start writing. Forget the editing. You've only got 10 minutes to get into that flow. So 10 minutes you set yourself, and then on those 10 minutes, you start doing the work. Yes, it's about action, right? So in those 10 minutes, you do that. And let me share something that's going to happen. Once the alarm goes off, trust me, most of the time, you're already going to be in flow mode. By the time the alarm goes off, you're going to be in that, what they call flow state. You've already, dived into it because you're waiting for the alarm to go off. Sometimes what's going to happen is that alarm is going to go off and you're just going to continue doing what you are doing because you're engrossed into it. So that's another thing. So the next thing I would like you to do is, don't stop there. Get an accountability partner. Get an accountability partner, because we all know what happens when you go to the gym by yourself. It makes it harder. But if you've got someone you need to report to, or someone you need to go with, do you ever get those days where you promise to do something, you woke up, you didn't have the energy, but because someone is holding you accountable, guess what? You were able to take that action because you knew there was someone that's holding you accountable. So that's what I would like you to do. Don't put it off. Get an accountability partner. Maybe the other thing is, go on social media. Put it out on social media and say, I'm going to do this. See, this is how you get unstuck. These are all the processes you have to get through, because if you don't, you're going to stay in the same position. And moving from unstuck to living a life of your dreams, it's going to require you to do something you've never done before, right? So the next one, so you've got an accountability partner. The next thing I want you to do is, every day, make sure you visualize that thing that you'd like to achieve. We all know visualization is a very, very powerful exercise. We athletes use it all the time. Yes? If athletes use it, then why can't you use it? So I want you to start visualizing every morning or before you go to bed that thing that you would like to bring to fruition. See, when you visualize, guess what? You're going to grow those neural pathways that will eventually get ingrained into your brain. And once those are grown, you'll be tempted to start taking that action that will move you closer to your goals and dreams. We've all heard of the reticular activating system, reticular ARAS. So this is something in the brain that once you start doing something, once you start paying attention to something, you start doing it, seeing it everywhere. For example, have you ever bought a certain type of car and then you start seeing it everywhere? It's not that car wasn't there. It was there all the time, but because you didn't pay close attention to it, now you start seeing that car everywhere, because the brain is going to start going to where your attention is. We've all heard that saying, where attention goes, energy flows. So you gotta be mindful of what you're feeding your brain. You gotta be visualizing on a daily basis, because eventually, once you develop those neural pathways, then you're going to automatically start doing actions that are in alignment with everything you visualize. And you don't need to do this thing once, you have to do it every single day. McDonald's know where you are. Burger King know where you are. Why do you think they're always advertising? They're putting stuff in your brain because that's what happens. So you gotta feed your goals. You gotta write them down. You gotta visualize them. You gotta see them every single day. And that's how you're going to be able to start taking action towards your goals and dreams. That was today's video. That's how you get unstuck. And as always, it's been Kam saying, go after your goals and dreams like your life depends on it. And if you feel unstuck, please do me a favor, check out my course on how to discover your life purpose if you haven't got a calling. That was it, and please do me a favor, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Have a fantastic day, my fans. I love you. Mwah.